All right, welcome back to Transport Fever 2. We are following along on one of our brand new iron to steel trucks that we established last time, over the last couple episodes, because last time we even established the train. So we're going to follow this along as it goes through this lovely picturesque farm on its little route. So everything's going well. Everything's going well. We are running out of money. But everything's going well. Let's go ahead and take a look at the finances real quick. Things are doing okay. We're okay. The only thing that's really costing us a huge amount of money is our brand new train line that just hasn't started making a profit yet. Let's go ahead and take a look at that, just to kind of see what's going on with there. So there's the line itself, okay, and it is now full. Okay, so the train is now full. We do have people who I believe are waiting at each of the locations. Let's go ahead and look at the station locations. Okay. Yes, we have people waiting at both stations, which is perfectly fine. Okay, so we've got plenty of people who want to take this train. Obviously, it is more popular than just one carload. So I'm considering adding a second car now while we still have the money to do so. Um, because you are paying an upkeep cost every month that your train car is attached. I'm going to wait actually until right before it pulls into Detroit to go ahead and add this next car, because that'll make it the minimum cost um, for the maintenance. So let's go ahead and take a look. We have 46 people waiting. So if I add a second car, that'll give me to 32. So yes, it is definitely worth it to go ahead and add a second vehicle. In order to add add something onto your train, you have to actually click on the manage vehicles and then go to this little wrench icon, and it'll give you the option to add additional components. We're going to do the exact same thing we did before. Okay. Our power hasn't changed at all. We're still maxing out at 47, which is great, especially for our train, which maxes out at 47. So that's going to cost us $747,000, but it will double our capacity for this train. So let's go ahead and take a look, make sure that this train fills up, and see how much money we get paid. Okay, so we made $143,000 on that full train load, which now tells me that we should, the next time we drop off, it should be a profit. Should show a profit, which is exactly what we want. We're going to go ahead and continue to build out some of these smaller routes, though, so eventually we can get to this grain line that we've been talking about doing since the very beginning. I did notice, pause just for a second because this is time sensitive, there are two opportunities I think that will help us out. And oh no, it actually already happened. There's a coal mine here that was disappearing because it was not being used, and that's actually a cool feature of this game that you can turn on or off. Some industries, like this one here, if unused, will eventually disappear. It'll be abandoned. And then in its place will either be the same thing later or it'll be something completely different. So this kind of makes the map a little bit more dynamic than just static. So you have to kind of be aware that of your messages that pop up saying this industry is about to close, because that could be a disaster for a future plan. The thing that I was going to do was here at this, we've got another steel mill here. We don't have any need for steel immediately in the vicinity except for here. We're way far from getting to goods, but we were going to eventually get to that point. So it was going to be some easy money to track back and forth between these two locations. I do have a coal mine here, which I think I can justify doing if it makes me enough money. Let's look at the iron and coal lines that we already have. Iron makes about 150,000. Coal is making 90,000. Okay, I think I want to go ahead and do that. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to make a line from iron here to the steel mill, I think I'm actually going to make one truck system kind of go back and forth though here, so that I'm not spending a ton of money on the trucks themselves. I'm just spending money on the initial setup. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and just go 2 platforms right now because we don't have to. We're not shipping these anywhere yet. Let's make it. We're trying to just save money right now. So let's go ahead and put that here, and then we're going to put a single platform over here at the iron. Tiny adjustment there. Boom, there we go. And then we're going to put a tiny truck stop over here. Right there. Okay. So we've got coal covered. Got that, and we've got this. Now I do need to build a road between these two because it will not do it on its own. So let's actually go ahead and configure this. No, let's not do that. Let's build a road around it. Take this road out just a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and go past it. You know, and actually, I screwed this up. I could have done the exact same thing I did before. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's build a connection. Let's build a straight connection here, and then actually cut down the travel time of my vehicles. Okay, I'm in pause mode right now, so I'm not really losing a ton of money in doing this. So let's go ahead and build that building again, now that I'm thinking straight. Okay, that we're going to build it pretty close to this intersection because that's where I'm going to have my trucks or my road. Build a curved road. And we're going to try to make this as cheap as possible to get over to that side over there. All right, there we go. Wasn't like that connection actually. All right. And if at all possible, I like to stay above 200,000. I'm sorry, 2 million by the end of this project. So once we do that, I'm going to go ahead and unpause so we can continue to make some money during this process. And now we have to set up the route. Yeah, I like this little triangle here. Definitely set. Okay, so Salt Lake City coal mine has been founded. Okay, that's gonna be up near our other lines. So let's start there. Then we're gonna go here. Then we're gonna go to the iron, and then we gotta drop the iron back off at Mexico City North, and then repeat the process. Okay, let's try MXCY, Mexico City. We're gonna go coal, iron to steel loop. Great. Let's build some trucks. We're gonna build a truck depot. Let's build on the outskirts of town because this town will need trucks eventually. Okay, eventually the train line is going to go that way, so I don't want to do it there. Do it right here. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, and look, this steel mill is actually telling me it's going to be abandoned unless it's used. So luckily we are doing these trucks now. All right, let's do. We're above 2 million, which is great. If I do 10 trucks, that'll be $474,000. That'll put us just below the number I want, but that's okay. Coal, steel. All right, we want Mexico City. All right, great. And because, again, this is the steel line, let's make this route like a silver. And we'll make all the trucks silver as well. Awesome. Okay, so that line is set up. We got the trucks rolling out of the garage, off to pick up their first loads of coal. Let's go and take a look at the coal. Make sure it's been populated. We've already got 40 waiting, so that's already enough, or close to enough for what we'll need. The iron is also waiting. Great. And the steel mill is going to be abandoned in 300 days, but the moment we drop off one resource here, that's gonna go away. That system's gonna go away. Now, we do have the ability to go ahead and take these trucks, this steel, and drop it off at the goods location. I do want to do that because that'll be a good final product. I'm not going to build a road because they can travel through Mexico City, but we are going to go ahead and build the depot just like we normally would. I'm sorry, the terminal, just like we normally would. Okay, using your M and N key, you can kind of rotate the item. If you want to do in smaller increments, you hold down the Shift key, and then you can go smaller increments. So we're just going to do, actually, you know what? Since we're just dropping off right now, we're going to do something even cheaper. We're going to do a truck drop-off. So they just have to drop it off there now. Okay, let's go ahead and build this line now. We're going to go from the steel mill to the goods factory. MXCY. Steel to goods factory. All right, we're gonna have 3 trucks. Doing that. Let's find it. Okay. We're not gonna make it this purple line. Let's continue with that same steel color. But let's make it a little bit different. Darker steel. In order to distinguish them slightly from the other ones. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at those trucks, managed vehicles. Take a look at one of them. And because I don't want them to necessarily drive back and forth over and over again, let's go ahead and change this a little bit. Okay, so they're on Terminal 1. That's great. That's the wrong line. Let's go ahead and get this line going. So Terminal 1 at Mexico City North, we're going to wait till full. And actually, I'm going to push this to the max because I don't want them driving off without any steel at all. It makes no difference to me if that terminal is used or not because eventually I know the steel is going to be coming, but you have to kind of wait for it. So I don't particularly care about. Well, actually, let's not make it indefinite because that could start really costing some money. So let's make it. We'll make it the standard 3 minutes. Okay. All right. So that line is set up as well. Okay. There go the trucks. They're going to wait for the depot. For the goods to rock up. Okay, I do need these trucks to go ahead and hurry up. If this, we'll come back and take a look at that. The other one that I wanted to take a look at and make sure we could complete today. Oh, Detroit Fuel Factory. Okay. Oh, so Detroit can now create fuel as well. That's great. So it's less necessary that I bring the oil down to here. The other one that I wanted to take a look at was, because again, steel is so expensive to create with how many resources it needs, but something like construction materials is a 1-to-1. So if I can get stone to brick and then brick all the way to Dayton, that would be a pretty good distance, yes, but also a good moneymaker. So that's going to be the other thing that we're going to do today. Okay, so we're going to start by connecting up this road. Okay, we're already back up about 2 million. That's great. Remember, we spent a good amount of money on that investment there, and we're already back up to our original number. So that's a good sign of things to come. All right, so let's start with trying to give ourselves as much distance as possible with this stone quarry. Go ahead and do there. That's linked up. Great. Let's go to the construction materials. And we are going to do 2 here. We're going to make it 20. Just so. Can I make it off the main road? Oh, I can. Good. Okay, we're going to make it off the main road because that's huge. Okay, shift in, adjust that slightly. Make that connection right there, put 181,000. And then we're going to do a truck drop-off in Dayton. Luckily, the town entrance actually covers most of the need for construction materials. So we're just gonna build it right at the town entrance. Really limit the distance this thing's got to travel because that's a long way. And if I can get through that, if I can straighten out that curve a little bit, that'll help me a little bit. That's a hill though. That's why they curved around the hill. So I'm actually not going to do that because it's going to slow down the truck if I try to go through there or over it, and it's going to cost me a lot of money to go under the hill. So this is our second line that we're going to set up. Let's go ahead and go new line. We're going to go from the stone to the construction materials. From the construction materials, we're going to go to Dayton. We're going to label this as Dayton, because that's going to be our endpoint. We're going to go stone to brick to supply, because we are going to be supplying Dayton with construction materials. All right, let's put these trucks, let's start these trucks pretty close to the stone. Okay, so we're going to put it right there. All right. I'm going to say 10 trucks on this again, because it is such a great distance, and I think there's a lot of money to be made here. So let's see how that works out. For this route, we're going to make sure that we do wait till full, because all of these, I think, I don't know if that's going to be fast enough for us to, for all those trucks to be able to make it, because it's got to be able to get 60 right off the bat. It's not going to be there. So we're going to do that. Evansville East, it's a 1-to-1, so we're going to make sure that everyone sticks around till full. And then at 6th Street in Dayton, there's no need to do that because it's just a drop-off. Okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at these trucks. Let's change the color. It's a color we haven't used yet. Good a lot. Let's go with this light tan for the actual line itself, and then manage vehicles. We'll do the same, light tan. Here we go. Awesome. Okay. Take a look at our first truck. Let's follow into the station. The level of detail that you can see in this game with the little driver and everything is pretty cool. We'll take a look at the passenger lines here in just a second for the trains, but you see the individual people inside the wagons as well, as they're kind of taking the trains around the area, so that's really cool to see. All right, we're picking up our first load of stone. Boom, 6, great. Again, we've only got 5 left there, so again, this is going to be a bit of a queue, but everyone's eventually going to get their full load, and then by the time that everyone gets back to there, I think it'll be perfectly fine. I don't think there will be any issue with waiting at that stop. I do think at the brick stop, it's going to be a bit of a wait. So I would like to... No, I can't do that. That's okay. I kind of want them to drop off and pick up at Terminal 1, though, so they can queue longer in the circle instead of queuing on the road, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to let that one go as well. That's ready to receive. Good. This is producing. Great. Okay, the trucks are moving, which is good. If they're filling up. Yeah, okay, we're good. We're good. So that's our second line that we were going to do today. Let's go ahead and take a look back up at Salt Lake City and Detroit and see how the passenger line is going. Remember, we were about to make profit on our first on our 2-wagon train last time. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what the profit is now. All right, $400,000 in profit. Fantastic. It is full. 32 people. Let me show you those people inside the wagons as we talked about. You can kind of see them over here. They're all sitting at their little seats. This train is just rocketing 46 miles an hour as it goes. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what the profit margin is going to be whenever we get to Detroit. You also have a pretty detailed financial tab up here if you want. You can scale it to see kind of how many years you want. But as you can see, this blue line is is significantly higher than the red line. Your red line's your running costs, your blue line's your income. So the hope is that we'll see a 2-to-1 margin every time whenever we're making money. Okay, overview. All right, $287,000 made on that journey alone, and it's going to fill right back up. It's awesome. Great, that's going well. It's going well. Okay, let's check on our other lines, see how they're doing. All right, this seems to be continuing to go well. I mean, there's even like an argument to be made that maybe a third rail car could be used on this train, but I'd rather have a full train and people waiting than a half-full train and everyone's off the station. Okay, so this city's going well. We're getting a lot of fuel into the city, which is causing a huge increase. This connectivity between the two cities is also giving us a 30% increase in population size. Detroit is going to get a similar boost, 30%. We are not supplying them with any of the goods that they need yet, so we're only seeing a 30% increase overall. Let's check on the other lines that we built today. Let's go over here to our brand new steel line. Okay, as you can see, the steel mill went ahead and decided it wanted to stay open because of the product that was being delivered to it now. Okay, we are producing steel. This is good. Okay, this is good. Everything seems to be going okay. That truck is dropping off, I believe. Yep, there it goes. And we do have 17 steel waiting for those vehicles to come pick up. All right, here's one of those vehicles now. Okay, so that vehicle is going to come and pick up that steel and take it to the goods factory. If I've got a truck that's close enough, we actually just had one that dropped off. Finances, okay, good. We are making money on this. We're making about $5,000 on this line in profit. And it looks like each of the trucks is full. That's great. We could probably even add one more truck if we're at 17 there. But I do want to see, I don't want this to, we don't want to ever waste the materials there. So let's go ahead and extend that just a little bit, just so that there's more capacity. For each one of those little bricks that I added, you add a 20 more capacity to the side of the terminal. So now we can store up to 60 on this one side without it being wasted. Okay, and there's none being produced. Great. So things are going well. Things are going well. Let's check on one more line and then we'll do the financial overview. All right, our first trucks have dropped off their brick and dropped off their stone and they're waiting for their brick. And the system is going relatively well. Let's see if this fills up all the way to 6. I don't know if it will, because it's supposed to be 1-to-1. But it's now out. So There must be one loss at some point along there, so it's not necessarily going to supply it. So let's go ahead and manage the line at Evansville East. We're going to turn down because I do not want them to wait forever. So let's turn it down to 90 seconds before they move on. Okay, so that's got 5. Let's check on one of the other vehicles that's about to make the journey and see. Okay, 5 of 6, 6 of 6, 6 of 6, 6 of 6. Okay, yeah, so at one point at the stone quarry, there was someone moved on without getting all 6, probably just for timing, and that kind of is slowing down the entire process. But we are about to see. I mean, it's going to be a hot minute, but let's turn up to full speed. This truck will eventually drop off at Dayton, and I do want to see how much money we make from that. So let's go ahead and follow this truck into Dayton. It's a nice little view there. We'll have it kind of rocking around this hill and drop off its goods in Dayton. So overall, things have been going well. Let's go ahead and check the overall finances while this is going on. Okay, we have blue across the board, with our train being the most profitable, which is great. Our iron to steel line that we established a couple of episodes ago is the second most profitable. We got hundreds of thousands coming in and there, and then we have tens of thousands. All right, this is about to drop off. I want you to notice also that we're over $1 million in the bank. Awesome. $27,000 made on that journey. We have $20,000 profit right now, which means that should be able to make it back in time for a profitable route. Okay. I want you to do notice that we are 1 million plus on our overall accounting for since the start of this episode. We are over 500,000. We're at 767,000 in the last 6 months. This 6-month period, we are on our way. We just made over $500,000. So we are making enough money. We are making enough money right now that I am confident and willing at this point to go ahead and repay $1 million from our loan. That will decrease our loan interest by several $1,000s and help us make money in the long run. It's also one of our key goals that we want to make sure that gets to zero as quickly as possible, so we can start making some real money. That $100,000 every year is just a killer, so we don't want that. All right, that's going to be where we're going to stop things today. But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See you later.